Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Surti from SI UK, and I would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone who has joined us today for this webinar, which is on higher education in the UK. This is a topic of great significance for students considering UK study plans and looking forward to developing an international career. We are now live with Mangalam University and University of Strathclyde, UK. Our speakers today are Stewart Coubrough, Student Recruitment Manager, Moira, Harte, Student Recruitment Officer, and Vijayita, Prajapati, PhD Student Ambassador from University of Strathclyde. I would like to thank Dr. Tanya from Mangalam University, who has helped me to organize this webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am, for encouraging your students to attend this webinar. Also, a big thanks to Stewart, Moira, and Vijayita for joining us today. We'll now begin our session, and for any queries that students may have, please type them in the chat box and they'll be answered post-presentation. Now I'd like to, I'll request Dr. Tanya to introduce Stewart to our participant. Thank you.
Thank you, Surti.
Thank you.
Good morning to the viewers and the participants who are presently on this webinar. It is our proud privilege that we are hosting this webinar on higher education in the UK and how to write an SOP. May I please take the opportunity now to introduce to you our speaker for the webinar, Mr. Stewart Coubrough. Stewart is a student recruitment manager for the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences at the University of Strathclyde. His team is responsible for student recruitment activity for the 6 academic schools in the faculty. Stewart has worked at Strathclyde for 7 years, supporting prospective undergraduate and postgraduate students from around the world to join Strathclyde. Welcome. We are really happy to have you, Stewart, on board. Thank you so much. It is also a privilege to have for this webinar Moira Harte, who is the Student Recruitment Officer at the University of Strathclyde, and Ms. Vijayita Prajapati, who is the PhD Education Student Ambassador. Welcome to all of you, and I really look forward on behalf of Mangalam University, Gurugram, Haryana. I welcome you all for this webinar, and we look forward that our students who have joined in from across streams, from the UG courses and the post-graduation courses, will really benefit from this webinar today. Once again, I welcome you. Thank you, Surti. Over to you, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. We can begin with the session. Stewart, Moira, over to you and we can start.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting us to come along today. It's a great pleasure. We are going to be splitting the presentation between us. So my colleague Moira is going to talk a little bit about Strathclyde and about Glasgow in the UK. I will then focus a little bit on our different courses that we have in our faculty, about graduate outcomes and the support that we provide to students. And BJ will also be giving a brief introduction, and she can also answer any questions from a student perspective. So BJ herself has obviously come to study in Glasgow and has transitioned well, so she can answer any student related questions. So I will start sharing my screen. And I will pass over to my colleague, Moira.
Okay. Morning, everyone. As I said, my name is Moira Harte, and I'm a Student Recruitment Officer in the Faculty of Humanities and Social Science. So I'm just going to run through a few slides before passing over to Stewart, just to introduce the university. So Strathclyde was founded in 1796 by John Anderson, and it was founded as a place of useful learning for the benefit of the public and the improvement of science. It's a very internationalized university, both in terms of its students and its staff. We have approximately 23,000 students from over 100 nations. We've won the Times Higher Education UK University of the Year for the second time in 2019. And in addition to that, we've ranked 4th in the UK for student satisfaction, according to the 2021 National Student Survey by the Times Higher Education. And this is the longest and largest running student satisfaction survey. And when we did some analysis, we found that 30 of our subject areas ranked in the top quartile. Next slide, please, Stewart. So we are located in Glasgow, and Glasgow is the largest city in Scotland. It's about a 1 hour flight from London and about 4 hours by train. It's also very closely linked to other cities. Edinburgh is about an hour away, and Stirling and other historical cities about 40 minutes away by train. And the great thing about Glasgow, you've got the city living, but you're also just on the doorstep of the countryside. So again, about another hour, you're just away from all the whiskey distilleries, and basically the Loch Lomond and the Trossachs, so the gateway to the Highlands and Islands. So Glasgow, as mentioned, is a very cosmopolitan city. It's very culturally mixed. It's got great shopping. It's got a very vibrant nightlife. It was and it is UNESCO City of Music, so it attracts a lot of international acts. It's got lots of live gigs and bars and clubs as well. We also hosted the Commonwealth Games in 2014 and European Championships in 2018. And more recently, as you probably know, that we hosted COP26. And it's a very, very friendly city. It's the world's friendliest city, and I can testify to that. As soon as you step into a taxi, you stand at a doorstep, you literally get somebody's life story. So it's very, very friendly in that respect. So in terms of Strathclyde, it is located in the heart of the city centre. So this is a map here of our campus, and literally just around there, we've got the main shopping area, which is Buchanan Street, pedestrianised shopping area, Merchant City, where all the restaurants, music venues are, and then we've got the Gallery of Modern Art as well. So within that area, we've got lots of trains, bus stations, we've got subways, but really, when you're in the city centre, you don't really need to use public transport because everything is within just a stone's throw distance away. Next slide, please. So the campus, as I said, we've spent a lot of money on it. So about 1 billion by 2025. So the building up the top there is Strathclyde Sport, and that is literally right next to the Lord Hope building. So where we are, the faculty of Harte, it's bang in the middle of the campus. And so everything around there is within a stone's throw, whether it's the library, whether it's the sports centre, and whether it's a new learning and teaching building. So Strathclyde Sport was opened in 2018, and we invested 31 million in it. And it houses 6-lane swimming pools, squash courts, sauna, state-of-the-art gym facilities. And if you stay in the halls of residence for the first year, then you get free membership to Strathclyde Sports. The next picture down is the TIC, which is Technology and Innovation Centre, and that was developed to facilitate the partnership between academic research, industry, business, and the public sector. And it's used for conferencing as well. And then we've got the library, which we've refurbished all the new study areas. So we've got lots of bookable pods for the different kinds of study, whether it's group discussions, whether it's individual or solo study. So we've got all the areas to provide for that. And lastly, this is our big beacon of teaching and learning excellence, which is the Learning and Teaching building, which was a £60 million building. And it houses our student learning village, which includes lecture theatres, social and study spaces. It's got cafes, it's got bars, restaurants in it as well. And it also houses our student support services. So it's a one-stop shop to all the student services that you need, whether it's international affairs, whether it's finance, careers, student support. So yeah, it's a fantastic building, and it will support you from the very first day that you step into it when you come to join us, right through to graduation and beyond. So I'll hand over to you now, Stewart.
Thanks, Moira. I'm now going to touch a little bit about the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. So at Strathclyde, we have 4 different faculties. So we have our Strathclyde Business Schools, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Science, and the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. We are the largest faculty at the university, and we cover a wide range of different academic disciplines. We have a lot of professionally accredited courses, and we welcome students from around the world. So within the faculty itself, we have 6 academic schools. So we're home to the School of Education. We have our School of Government and Public Policy. So that specialises in things like politics, international relations, public policy. We have our School of Humanities, which covers a wide range of humanities and arts programmes, ranging from creative writing, English, history, modern languages, translation, and media and communication. We're home to Strathclyde Law School. We also host the School of Psychological Sciences and Health, which specialises in areas of psychology, speech and language therapy, counselling and sport. And we're also home to the School of Social Work and Social Policy. The faculty has some very good rankings that we are very proud of. Our subject rankings have increased over the last couple of years, as has the overall university rankings. And this is testament to our excellent student experience. So we perform very highly in student satisfaction scores. And it's also testament to our really strong research intensity. And also the quality of our students that we recruit, and also the really good graduate prospects that our students go on to. So we have 9 subjects that are in the top 10 of the Sunday Times Good University Guide, and we also have 8 subjects in the top 10 in the Complete University Guide. Both of these are UK-based rankings that students use in the UK to help in their decision making. We are also positioned between 251 and 300 in the QS World Rankings in the area of law and education. So you can see here the wide range of subjects. So speech and language therapy, we are joint first. Communication and media studies, second in the UK. Social work and social policy between second and third. And education, third and fifth in the UK. English, 5th and 7th, and politics, 7th and 10th. So that's an area where we have increased our rankings quite considerably over the last couple of years. And in law, we're between 8th and 11th. And just to put that in context, there's around about 100 law schools in the UK. So we're very proud of our subject rankings. I'm now just going to touch a little bit about our different schools and about the courses that we offer and the type of graduate opportunities. So we are home to the largest and leading school of education in Scotland. We have a really long history, so we can trace our history back to 1837, when a man called David Stowe established one of the first teacher training institutions in the UK. That moved in 1913 to Jordan Hill, which was the largest teacher training college in Scotland, which then became part of the faculty of Strathclyde in 1993. All of our teacher education courses are accredited by the General Teacher Council of Scotland. So if you want to teach in Scotland, you need to undertake a course that is approved by the General Teaching Council of Scotland. All of our courses also offer QTS, which is qualified teacher status, which you need to teach in the rest of the UK, so for England and other parts. We've got a really long history, and each year we teach around about 43 to 49% of all of the teachers in Scotland. So we actually have graduates all around the world, and many of our graduates go on and work in international schools throughout the world. So we've got a really well-established alumni network for our School of Education. So the type of courses that we offer, so at postgraduate level, we offer 2 types of courses in initial teacher education. So these courses are accredited if you want to teach in Scotland or teach elsewhere around the world. So we offer primary, and we also offer secondary. And at secondary, we cover all of the main subjects that are taught in secondary schools in Scotland, ranging from your science subjects, languages, through to more niche areas like psychology and Mandarin. The only 2 subjects that we don't teach on the Scottish, that are on the Scottish curriculum, are drama and I forgot the second one, apologies. We also offer a range of full-time master programs. So we have a Masters in Autism. It's a very interesting course. And we've seen good growth in that course from students in India recently. That course also has a placement opportunity where you can work on the autistic spectrum. We have a full-time Masters in Education Studies. This is a very popular course for international students, and we have a couple of different streams on that course. So it is an academic focused course, but students can focus on things like educational leadership or developing practical skills, or the more traditional theory and philosophy of education. We also offer a course in TESOL, an multicultural communication. That's in partnership between this school and the School of Humanities. So it obviously looks at teaching English, but also looks at things like linguistics and communication from a more humanities-based approach. And we also offer PhD, and we also have a top doctorate in education. Our School of Government and Public Policy, so we have some really strong rankings at the moment. So we're 10th and 8th in the Complete University Guide and the Times Speed University Guide. Our school produces world-class research, so our academic colleagues contribute to really, really good research across the globe. And we're also one of the founding members of the European Consortium for Political Research. And we also have a number of different research centres. So we're also home to the Energy Policy Centre, which is very interdisciplinary and works with areas across the university and out with. And as you can imagine, with the current climate crisis, that is a very important area of research and study. We offer a range of different master's programmes. So we offer traditional courses like politics, international relations and public policy, but we also have some new courses as well, which are very interdisciplinary in their approach, for example, urban policy. And we also have a course in data science for politics and policymakers. That's a collaboration with our Department of Computer Science and looks at how we can use big data to solve those political and policy problems. All of our courses, there is an opportunity to undertake a project-based dissertation. So that's where you would work with an external organisation. That could be a government body or it could be a private area. And you work with them to help them solve a problem, and that forms part of your dissertation. Our School of Humanities is the next one I'm going to talk about. So our School of Humanities covers a wide range of different subject areas. So we have really high quality research and teaching, some really good academic profiles here of different staff. So we offer courses in things like creative writing. Our creative writing course gives you the opportunity to meet with a wide range of different authors and writers, and there's good opportunities for you to meet with these people in various different seminars and lectures. We have a couple of courses in the realm of media communication and journalism. So we have a course in digital journalism and media and communication. Glasgow is home to the Scottish media. So we have a range of different TV stations and production going on in the city. So there's good opportunities for you to gain experience and do a practical placement as part of these courses. We also offer a couple of courses in history. And we have a new course in diplomacy and international security, which has got good links with the Foreign Office and the different consulars that are based in Edinburgh in Scotland. We are home to Strathclyde Law School. So Strathclyde Law School is one of the leading providers of legal education in the UK. We're currently ranked 8th in the Sunday Times Speed University Guide. We've very much focused on experiential, practice-based learning that is useful for our graduates when they go on to the professional career. We are based in Scotland, so in the UK there are different legal systems in the different countries. So in Scotland we have Scots law, in England there is English law, which is based in common law, which is probably more similar to the legal system in India. But at Strathclyde Law School we do teach both English and Scots law. And our undergraduate courses, if you were to study our courses, would put you in a good position either to become a lawyer or a solicitor, both in Scotland and in the rest of the UK, and likewise in other countries around the world where common law is the basis. At postgraduate level, we offer a wide range of different master's courses in areas like international commercial law, competition law, internet law, global environmental law and governance, criminal justice and penal change, and human rights law. We also have very active research centres that are linked to these courses. These give you really good opportunities to get involved in a research centre, and the research centres obviously organise things like conferences and seminars and bring in guest speakers. So really good opportunity for our students to work with these and obviously experience extracurricular activity as well. So at Strathclyde, we really focus on giving our students the opportunity to develop their practical legal skills. So we are home to a multi-award winning law clinic. It was one of the first in Scotland. So our law clinic is run by our own students. They work in partnership with our academic colleagues and PhD students. And what they do is they offer free impartial legal advice to members of the community in Glasgow and around Scotland who would not normally be able to afford the fees of going to a solicitor. So this gives our students really good practical experience where they can work with real life cases before they've actually finished their studies, and obviously give something really useful back to the community as well. We have a mediation society as well. So our mediation, so this gives our students the opportunity to help mediate between potential clients so that hopefully they don't get to court in the first instance. We also have our linked masters in mediation, and this is an area of great growth in our legal sector here. We also offer a mooting society, and we also have our Strathclyde student law review. So that was set up by a number of our international students. So this gives our students the opportunity to publish their research in a regularly published document. We also, for a couple of our masters, offer the opportunity to do a field dissertation. So that's where you would work with an NGO or a government agency or some sort of organisation to do some meaningful research. So for those masters, the course is slightly longer. It's usually 18 months in duration. In the past, we've had a number of students who have gone to various places around the globe. We've had students in Kenya and students in Peru looking at environmental issues and working with NGOs and helping them solve a problem. And then that also helps provide them with a really useful dissertation as well. The School of Psychological Sciences and Health covers a range of different subject areas. We have a couple of really popular courses. So we offer a clinical health psychology program. We do have, we've got a good alumni network of Indian students who have done that course and have gone back to India and are progressing well in their career and trying to achieve clinical or psychology status. We also offer a course in counselling and psychotherapy. That course is accredited and focuses on in-person counselling skills. And then we also offer a research method psychology program, which is more tailored for those who are looking to go on to PhD study. And then finally, our last school is our School of Social Work and Social Policy. Really strong rankings in this course, both second and third in the Complete University Guide. Our social work courses are accredited by the SSSC, which is the accrediting body in Scotland if you want to work in social work. So both our undergraduate and our postgraduate programs are accredited for Scotland. But we do offer a number of full-time programs looking more at social policy. So we offer a social policy and social policy research methods course. This is of interest to subjects from a range of different disciplines, from things like history, economics, politics, and it looks at obviously social welfare issues, and it's very interdisciplinary in its approach. Many of the classes on our social policy course, you can take classes from courses in law and also from courses in government and public policy. And it has a really strong focus on research methods, so looking at qualitative and quantitative research, which is really useful for a wide range of different careers. We also have our international social welfare program, which combines both social policy and social work. And we also have a course which combines criminology and social policy, which normally starts in January. I'm now just going to highlight how much our courses cost. So we have a range of different fees. So I'll talk about postgraduates. I imagine most of you would be interested in doing graduate study. So our courses range from 15,150 up to 18,750. We do offer generous scholarships. So this year we're offering scholarships between £3,000 and £5,000. The amount that you would get would depend obviously on the price of your course, but generally we're offering around about 20% discount off your fee, and then we do have a number of additional scholarships that we can award to students with a good academic profile. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the skills that are developed. So all of the programs that we offer across our faculty help students develop some really, really important skills that are highly valued by employers in the UK and globally. So the British Academy identified a range of different skills and attributes that are developed by humanities and social sciences graduates, all of which really help with career progression. So all of our programs allow you to develop communication and collaboration skills. The way that we teach in the UK is that there will be lots of opportunities for you to do group work and work with others. We have a strong focus on research skills, analysis, qualitative and quantitative methods are the basis of the majority of our postgraduate programs. You'll also learn really good attributes such as independence, problem solving, and adaptability and creativity. At the University of Strathclyde, we obviously offer a really good student experience and we focus in on the academic courses, but we also offer a wide range of other support services for students. We offer things like academic study support, who organise a range of different online resources, but also classes to help you get the most out of your studies, whether it's looking at things like academic reading, essay writing, or even perhaps working in groups if you're not used to that. So they're on hand to provide support. We offer on-campus accommodation. I'll talk a little bit about our career service in a second. We also have our disability and wellbeing service. So they're there if you have any disabilities, and they can put things in place, but also looking at counselling support as well. We have financial advice and a specialised team that help our international students as well, providing you with really good information, advice and guidance. We're home to Strathclyde Sports, so we have the wonderful gym facilities, but there's also a wide range of different sports clubs as well. And then we're home to our student union, which has got everything that you would need, ranging from shops, recycling centres, right through to bars and restaurants. In the UK, so since last year, international graduates are now able to stay in the UK after they have completed their degree. Previously, students only had a short window after their studies in which time they could find a job, but now they have up to 2 years, which is really, really good. So students, after completing their degree, can stay in the UK for up to 2 years. So that obviously gives students a really good opportunity to gain some employment experience in the UK. If you're doing a PhD, then you would have slightly more, so you would have up to 3 years. One of the things here is you do not need a job with a minimum salary, which was the case previously. So a really good opportunity. Graduate careers. So in humanities and social sciences, we have a wide range of different professional accredited courses. So as I mentioned before, obviously our law courses are accredited by things like the Law Society of Scotland, our education courses by the General Teaching Council of Scotland. So many of our graduates in these professional courses will go into that profession, whether it's teaching, social work, or education. But our students are also able to access a wide range of other different careers. Many employers in the UK do not look for specific degrees. They're looking more for those skills that you've developed. And as I've said before, our degrees all allow you to develop a wide range of skills that are highly favoured by employers. So our graduates go on to work in obviously schools, universities, accounting and finance, banking, local government and central government, the legal profession, journalism, the charity sector, marketing and PR, and a wide range of other large companies as well. At Strathclyde, we're home to an award-winning career service. Our career service are here to give you advice and guidance on how best to develop your career, both during your studies, but also after your studies. So if you were to apply to Strathclyde and you were to be successful and get a place, our career service will be able to start engaging with you before you started. So if you do get a place, our career service offer a module that you can undertake before you start at Strathclyde. And that module really talks about the UK job market and how you can start preparing if you want to be successful to gain a position either whilst you're studying or after you graduate. Our career service also offer advice and guidance after you graduate, so you can access our career service for up to 5 years after. They have some really good online materials where they provide advice and guidance on things like applying for jobs, different psychometric tests that take place, and how you can make a really good application or do a really good interview as well. Our career service also have really good links with employers. Many employers will organise sessions via the career service to meet with students or to do the application process. And they do organise a range of different events. So we work in partnership with them, and each year we organise a Strathclyde Law Fair where we have a wide range of law firms, both local and also international law firms, will come in and speak to our students. Each year as well, they host the Scottish Graduate Fair. So that's a Scotland-wide event. It's taken place virtually for the past 2 years, but previously it used to take place in the large conference centre in Glasgow. And there will be employers from around the country coming to that. They also offer, which I think is a really good service, they offer one-to-one career guidance appointments. So you can meet with them and discuss what you're looking to do, and they can give you advice and guidance. They also promote part-time work opportunities. And then the next slide just shows some of the tailored materials and resources that they've got for our international students to help them whilst they are studying with us. We have a number of different alumni from India. So I would say our Indian student numbers have increased over the last couple of years. But these students that we've got on this slide graduated probably around about 3 or 4 years ago. So we've got Sayali, who is based in Mumbai, who's a human rights lawyer, and we've got Jonathan, who completed our mediation and conflict resolution course. And we also have Nanda, who is working at the Supreme Court of India. I'm highlighting these alumni because if you're interested in hearing from them, please get in touch with us and we can introduce you. They're more than happy to speak to prospective students. We also have Vijayita, who did clinical health psychology, and Kunal, who did our international relations, law and security. At Strathclyde, we employ a number of student ambassadors who are happy to speak to you about their experience studying at Strathclyde. And we have a platform called UniBuddy, which is based on our website, and you can chat with our student ambassadors whenever you want. So I'm just highlighting a couple of our student ambassadors here. So we've got Prashant, who is doing international relations, Priyanka, who's doing counselling and psychotherapy, and Shreyas, who's on our undergraduate programme in media and communications and economics. So if you want to find out from them about their experience at Strathclyde, you can chat with them and they will get back to you in real time. Staff members also have UniBuddy accounts, so if you want to get in touch with any of us, both myself, Moira and BJ, all have UniBuddy accounts, so you can chat with us whenever you would like. I am now just going to pass over to BJ just to introduce herself before we then move on to take questions.
So, hi everyone. I came here in 2019, just before the corona hit. And it was, I think, a very, very difficult decision. I think if any of you, most of you are trying to figure out where to study, how to get there, there are many, many options. There are many opportunities, and you're always wondering, what should I do? Some of the things that I wish I knew before I joined my university, and also from experiences of my friends, I would like to share. One of the top tips is focus on specific courses. I mean, a lot of times people just end up going for random MBAs or random degrees. There are such good opportunities to look at very focused programs. Like, for example, if you are looking at something like English, teaching English, so then, rather than doing an education studies, go for a TESOL. But if you are looking for, research oriented PhDs, or you're looking at courses that help you become academics, then go for an education studies. So in any field that you have, so a lot of people with law, I get a lot of requests on Unibuddy, like, I want a career in law, but then law has so many aspects. So are you looking at mediation? Are you looking at international global trade? Are you looking at, which part? Are you looking at criminal? So focusing on what the university can offer in terms of your particular interest, because that's when it's fun, that when you're interested and when the university offers you something that works for you. My second thing is to focus on academic writing. I know a lot of us, we think we're good in English, so we'll be able to get through. What I have learned in a very hard way is that academic writing is like a whole different beast. And especially because our system in India, we don't really focus a lot on academic writing. I know that, you do have sessions on referencing, and you do have an understanding of what plagiarism means. But when you're talking about academic writing, it's not about just writing correct English. It's about thinking in a very different form and format than we are used to. And I'm saying we because I have been a student, but I've also been a teacher in India before I came here. So I'm more aware of the fact that academic writing for a lot of us will be a new beast that we have to work on. Also, a lot of assessments here are in universities in UK, universities in US, they're essay based. And when you're talking about essay based, you're talking about getting your mind getting your mind and your learning outcomes on paper. So which means that trying to figure out how to write, how to learn, how to put your thoughts on paper, and at the same time prove that you have understood what the subject matter is, and you have understood what was expected of a particular module. Its assessments are a lot on essay based. So, which is why focus on academic writing becomes doubly important. What I would also, people ask, oh, how many days is it class, and is it going to be 5 weeks? And so no, that's not usually how it works. You'd usually have class for, say, 2 days. When I'm saying 2 days, maybe you'll have Monday 4 hours, and you'd have Wednesday 2 or 4 hours. Some courses you may have 2.5 days. But the expectations of every module, so for every 1 hour of class, there is an expectation of at least 3 hours of independent study. So which is where a lot of work that happens for us in our, for every subject is actually happening in the library, it's happening on the computer, it's happening outside of the classroom. The classroom is like literally just to get the lecture, try and understand what is happening. But then after that is when your efforts would start. About Glasgow, I think when I came here, everybody's like, Glasgow, where's that? And oh my God, it's going to be so cold. And who goes to Scotland? I mean, except for holidays. But believe me, it is one of the best decisions I made. Glasgow is extremely awesome. It's a lot of Indian restaurants, Indian stores, very India friendly city. My house is next to one mandir, 2 gurdwaras, at least 5 Indian grocery stores, and around 8 Indian restaurants. So, you always think, especially if we're vegetarians, oh my God, we're going to starve and die and survive only on bread and cheese. That's not going to happen. You will get everything in terms of what you would get in India. And Scotland's gorgeous. So for all of you who are looking at trying to make the best of personal, professional life, everything in Scotland, like 2-3 hours away, get up early on a Saturday morning and you'll be in a completely different part of the country having a lot of fun. And there was another part on statement of purpose that was talked about. And what we thought that, it's very easy to just give you a ready-made slide and say, oh, this is what you should do. However, we're not going to do that. What I'm going to just probably give you is like 5 questions in what you would consider, and then we'll open it up for questions, because doing like an internet search on how to write a good statement is going to give you a million answers. But probably we thought we'd spend time focusing on what your questions are about statements of purpose and about admissions and about choosing, because then that'll be more useful. But just before that, probably if I had to write my statement of purpose, I'd focus on 5 questions, starting with why are you applying? So that's your introduction. I'm choosing to apply for this and this because of this and this. Second, how have you prepared? So the first was why. The second is how have you prepared? So for example, so talking about over the last so many years, this is what I have done to justify my preparation for what I'm applying for. What do you already know? So your current qualifications, your current skills, and this is specific for a lot of programs. There is, this is one thing which a lot of people don't do, is try and go and look at the entry requirements. So for example, if you're applying for MSc in psychology, there are very specific requirements. If you're applying for law, there is a specific requirement. So go and look at the entry requirements, explain how your CV or your application meets those entry requirements. So what do you already know? Where do you want to be? So after doing this course, where are you going to, where do you see taking your career, and how do you wish to, probably, this is the very hypothetical, where would you be 5 years from now? But I would focus on what the course would give you. And because of that course, where do you see your career progression? And finally, to end it, you would probably go back to when you're chosen. So if I'm given this opportunity, I would do this. So this is where you're recapping your entire, so why are you applying? How have you prepared? What do you already know? Where do you want to be? And when you're done and when you're chosen, what would that do for you? So if that helps, that's a very short and sweet way of approaching your statement of purpose. Of course, after that, you'd probably look at grammar. Don't make it too long. Nobody wants to read your life story. 1 page, more than enough, but crisp, clear, and just relevant to what you're applying for. But we'll open this to questions, because I think it would be nicer if you ask what are your particular pain points, and maybe we can help you directly in that way.
Sure. Thank you, Vijayita. That was very useful for the students, I believe. And we can now start with the Q&A. Yeah. So first question that we received is, what is the minimum academic criteria to get eligible for your generic scholarships?
Could you repeat the last part of that question, sorry?
Sure. Minimum academic criteria to be eligible for your general scholarships.
So our scholarships, if you manage to meet the minimum entry criteria and you're successful and you have an offer, there's a short application process, and then you would be eligible for our minimum 20% discount. We are offering slightly higher scholarships for students who have got a higher GPA or higher aggregate score, but generally 20% would be offered to all of those meeting the entry criteria. Our entry criteria normally is we look for a 2-1 or international equivalent for most of our courses.
Which would be around 60%? Yeah, so first class 60%. 60% is what? 2-1. Stewart, would that be right?
Yeah, it really depends. We look at, it depends on the university in India. We take that into consideration.
Okay. Thank you. Next is, I want to study PG in physiotherapy. What are the criteria?
Unfortunately, we don't offer a course in physiotherapy at Strathclyde.
Okay. Do this university have any tie-up with external organization for job assistance? And how would the student union assist student?
Okay, yes, our career service have really good links with a wide range of employers. And as I mentioned, they host information sessions, and we also have career fairs as well. And we also have a wide range of our courses offer placement opportunities, and also we have established relationships with the employers offering placements too. Students' Union organise a wide range of different activities, so they provide curricular activities. They also provide extracurricular activities and advice and guidance. And then we also have a wide range of different student societies. They range from academics, so if you're wanting to have like a media and communication or a law society, but they also have them looking at different sporting activities, but also like film appreciation or dancing and various different things. And at Strathclyde, we do have a very prominent Indian Student Association, which is run by our current Indian students. And on Friday, they were celebrating, or sorry, Saturday, there was a great big Holi celebration on campus, and they do other activities throughout the year. I think you're muted.
Surti, you're muted.
Sorry. Next question we have is, I want to pursue MSc in financial technology. Can you please let me know the scope in this particular field?
Financial technology probably would sit with our business school. I wouldn't be best placed to answer that one, but you can certainly find the entry criteria on our website, and it'll detail the GPA. The way that our admission system works at Strathclyde is that each faculty is responsible for their admissions, and each faculty takes a slightly different approach. Certainly our business programs are very, very competitive, so potentially it can be a little bit different, but I would advise looking at the web page.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Nandini here wants to know, please can you brief me about the prospects of studying psychology at master's level in UK?
So our psychology graduates go on to a wide range of different areas. So some students will go on to become a chartered psychologist, which would mean that they would have to undertake further study. But we do find that a lot of our psychology students go into a wide range of different careers, whether that's from education or they go into our graduate programs with large organisations. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop into the chat function if I can share. We've got a really good, in fact, Moira's just done it. Thank you, Moira. We've pulled together a useful page which outlines how to become a psychologist, because it is quite a complex topic and there's lots of different options. But one of the good things is that our undergraduate courses at Strathclyde are accredited by the British Psychological Society. Our courses, our master's courses aren't, but there are still options there. We have, as I said before, we have had a lot of Indian students who have completed our clinical health psychology programme. That was before the graduate route, so most students had to go back to their own country or to another country. But we do have a number of our students who've gone back to India and who have been progressing throughout their career and are working as psychologists in Mumbai. But with the graduate route being new, this will be the first year that our international students will have stayed in the UK. So that's something we'll be monitoring closely, because obviously that information is obviously really useful for prospective students.
I think I'd also like to add on that a lot of people, when they ask this question, and they think that after a master's, it'll be okay to practice in the UK. What I'd like to share is that both psychology, law, teaching, the actual school teaching, these are all very regulated professions when it comes to UK. So in case you want to practice psychology, the minimum qualification is a PhD. So if you are looking at careers of practicing clinical psychology specifically, then you are looking at not just the master's, but you're looking at 1 year of master's plus 3 years of PhD before you can start practicing. The same is with law. So any education that you complete in the universities across UK, whether it's England, whether it's Scotland, you would still have to qualify by way of an exam. So that exam helps you then practice law as far as the court is concerned. However, like Stewart talked about psychology, so say, for example, you did do psychology masters and you did want to work, there are allied areas in which you would probably use your degree. So for example, if you're doing organizational psychology, working with HR or working with customer service, you might be able to use your degree, but practicing psychology as a clinical psychologist would require qualification. Practicing law would require qualification. Teaching law, even with people who are choosing education degrees, if you can be teaching in a lot of alternative options. So for example, museums, science centers, further education, colleges maybe. But if you're talking about school teaching, again, that requires a specific qualification. So do go, when you're searching for your opportunities and options, do have a look at what are the professional requirements of my course and my career field.
Yeah, I would like to, in fact, since you were speaking about education, so, here at India, we, the master's level program in education that we have is, one is the MEd, which is the Master of Education. And then we have a MA education, which helps, the students to move in for research and then subsequently take up a PhD program, and they can be appointed as teacher educators in education colleges, as well as it is also open for them to take up education leadership. So in fact, when Stewart was, briefing us about the School of Education at the University of Strathclyde, I was seeing there that, your programs are an MSc program, like you have an MSc in autism and you have an MSc in educational studies and research. So I'm sure our young students, out here, because in the audience, we have a lot of students who are presently, doing their bachelor's program in education as well. So for their better understanding, I thought I should pose this question, that how is a master's, an MSc different from an MA education, which is there in India? So how is it different? If you could kindly elaborate.
So I suppose I'll just, with the qualifications that we offer MEds as well. So in Scotland, we offer Masters of Education. The way that we do it at Strathclyde and some of the other institutions in Scotland is that our MEd, so we offer an MEd in Education Studies, Autism, Educational Leadership, Philosophy of Children, a wide range of different courses, early years as well. They are mainly targeted at our local teachers who are qualified and they're accredited by the General Teaching Council of Scotland, and they will usually do these qualifications part-time whilst they're in profession. Our master's programs, we differentiate. The MSCs are all full-time programs and they have been tailored for international students, some local students as well. But that's the difference. It's pretty much the same content. It's just that we changed that a good number of years ago because depending on the international market, MSc makes more sense rather than MEd, but I do appreciate some countries do have MEds as well. But generally, the Masters, the MScs are specifically designed for our international students and they're full-time, usually on campus. The MEds that we offer generally are part-time and quite a lot of them are hybrid. So some of it will be online, some of it will be face-to-face. And unfortunately, those courses, due to the visa regulations, we can't normally offer to our international students.
I'd just like to add to that you don't need a BEd to go for an MEd. You don't need a BSc to go for your MSc. You don't need a BA to go for your MA. So please don't look at the nomenclature of the degree and wonder whether you're eligible or not, or just reject it outright. Look at the entry requirements. Most entry requirements for degrees in UK have an undergraduate program. It does not really specify that you have to be an undergraduate in so-and-so, except of course, I mean, you're not going to go into professional Like you're not going to go to a master's in engineering without a bachelor's in engineering. But do have a look at the entry requirement. So the way the British education, I mean the Scottish education system, British education system, it's you usually do 7 years of primary, 5 years of secondary, and then you do 3 or 4 years of undergraduate. Usually if you're doing an honors, it's a 4-year undergraduate. Masters is always 1 year, except if it's like a professional masters or with an additional qualification, in which case it will be 2 years. But usually it's 1 year master. So that's how you finish your 15 years of education. So it's 7 primary, 5 secondary, 4 undergraduate, and then a 1 year master's. Right? Don't look at, so a lot of people are like, oh, how can I do MEd if I'm not done BEd? But that's not how it works. So the BEd is an undergraduate program, MEd is a postgraduate program. So whereas in India, BEd is usually postgraduate and then MEd is postgraduate. So, but that's not how it works here. Look at the entry requirements, not at the nomenclature. What I was told is most of the times, like Stewart just said, MSc are more academic oriented, MEd are practice oriented. So wherever you have professional practice involved, the terminology is preferred to be MEd, and wherever it's more theory and classroom, the terminology is more MSc or MA. Doctor, does that help?
Yeah. Perfect. In fact, I was also interested to know that, do you have some kind of, collaborations or exchange under which the students can, because this was one of the questions which was there from the students, that is there any kind of a job assistance or any kind of an exchange program while they are studying between the countries? So do we have some kind of a possibility for such kind of thing also? Maybe Stewart could answer that.
Yeah, that's something we could certainly look into. We don't currently have that at the moment. So, however, our initial teacher education, so our teacher training programs. So at undergraduate level, we offer a BA in primary, and then at postgraduate level, we have our PGDE. So that's for graduates if they want to be primary teachers or secondary teachers. We do have some partnerships and opportunities. So we have some partnerships in EU countries in Europe, and also in the United States for exchange. The US ones have been developed recently during COVID time, so that's been done online. And we do have with institutions in China as well, where some of our students previously pre-COVID went out to China to do some teacher practice. So it's definitely something that we are keen to explore in India. So we can follow up afterwards on that. But just to say that our courses, so our PGDE, so they are professionally accredited by the General Teaching Council of Scotland, and the course is split equally between time at Strathclyde and also time in schools. So that course, you spend half of your time in 2 or 3 different schools where you're working as a teacher. You've got a mentor in school who's assessing you, and then Strathclyde does your final checks. Scottish students, after completing that course, are normally guaranteed a job. So after they graduate, they then get a job for 1 year. They are usually allocated a job in a different school. And then after that 1 year, they then get full accreditation by the General Teaching Council of Scotland. For international students, unfortunately, they are not allocated a school, but after completing that course, they would have the option to gain employment for a year or slightly longer than a year, which would then allow them to get full accreditation with the General Teaching Council of Scotland. And just to say as well, so our courses, even though they're in Scotland, you would easily be able to, after completing our 1 year postgraduate program, you would be able to go and work, for example, in England as a newly qualified teacher, or around the world in many international schools accept that qualification as well.
I think also in terms of collaborations, what we have also seen is that the graduate visa work route is not even a year old. So it's still time, and a lot of relationships are building. So probably, by the time you all have finished, there will be a lot more routes open, because until now, a lot of international students came, and then within the 4 months post their degree, they would go back. So it was not an area that was really active. But I think with the graduate visa work route and with the opportunities that have opened both for you as a student as well as for us as universities and for the employers of UK, a lot of things are going to pan out. Also, in terms of exchange collaborations, there are a lot of opportunities where you can look at not just going, India, but a lot of European opportunities and exchange programs. There would, if you'd go to the website and probably, we could speak to Surti and the team, and there are summer schools that are happening. So those could be your tasters and samplers of what teaching at Strathclyde could look like. And it's a shorter commitment in terms of understanding what the educational system in UK overall feels like.
Right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Vijayita. Thank you so much. Ma'am, do you have any more questions?
No, not really. I think most of the questions that were there have been taken up, which were either there in the chat box or on YouTube.
True, true. So I would like to share something with the students that SIUK is there to help you if you still have further questions. We have posted the contact details on our YouTube channel in the chat box. You can get in touch with us and we'll answer you, and we'll be there throughout if you are happy to get in our service. And also for students, we are conducting a subject fair on 24th of March, which is beneficial for all data science, business analytics, engineering and technology, and computer technology students. I'll share the link with you if you wish to enroll and register. You may join. We are expecting more than 30 universities in this subject fair. All right. Thank you so much, Stewart, Moira, and Vijayita. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you, Dr. Tanya, and your staff faculty as well for helping us organize this webinar. All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you. Good luck, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice
to meet you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.